All right, guys, so here we are to talk about the season finale of Crazy Head Season 1. Episode 6, if you want to know numbers.
6 of 6.
Yeah.
Totes.
That was, it was something.
I would classify this as a disappointment.
Would you?
I would.
There were a couple moments that actually had me going in this, and I'm going to jump right to them.
There's good stuff in it.
Totes. Like the end of this episode where you find out that, the best friend dude has been possessed.
Yeah.
I was totally like, oh my god. And I didn't do it, but I was in my head like, how many more minutes are there? What's going to happen? Is he the villain of Season 2?
Okay. I literally, because we had, we talked about this, he's, they reveal that he's possessed. Then there's immediately running, right? And I know after runny, there's trippy, and then talky. And I'm like, is he gonna say, oh, watching the two of you bumble around for these months, and he was gonna walk on this big speech, and I was gonna be like, oh my god, I accidentally called it. This is so exciting. This is amazing, or something like that. And he's like, oh, Callum was just a whatever. He was supposed to fail, but he was supposed to kill you too. Now I have to finish the job myself, and all this stuff. I'd be like, oh, I'd be so good, and all that stuff. And then it's like, oh no, he probably got possessed when everybody got possessed. I guess that makes more sense.
Yeah,
okay,
I immediately thought that part.
Oh. No, that's.
They even got the kid that just got cured of cancer. How rude!
So while he's running, I did think that everything that I just described took place in a devil's advocate, very instantaneous. And I was like, oh! And then it was just like, okay, no, it's probably that. I'll keep hope alive, but it's probably okay.
I'll bet my full life that he just got possessed.
No, it's
not definitive even with the ending, but just the same.
The reason I thought he just got possessed was because he pushed Harry into the pit, which is not conclusive either. But when I realized that, I was like, okay, probably not the master plan villain of Season 2 or whatever, because that was my whole thing. I was like, oh.
I didn't picture a master plan, but I thought he was one of the bigger bads that got out of hell and now was going to be doing a thing. And I was like, no, they kind of dispatched that quickly and somehow learned how to properly exercise a demon.
I figured I just missed something again because Raquel makes a comment like, sorry, I can't help. We don't want him turning into a revenant. And I'm like, did they say that
They
Raquel...
said that she is a magnet for bad things, and that's how that happened.
Right.
But at the same time, in the last one, they had this big thing drawn on the ground with symbols that they didn't have this time. But she did pee on them.
Well, no, did they last time for the exorcism or
didn't
for the?
They?
They had that when they were stabbing Sawyer in the heart.
Maybe I have made something in my head, but I could have sworn there was some triangle bullshit.
5 long episodes ago. They may have.
I don't know.
But she peed on him, she said the words, everything worked fine, and I was like, okay.
I said your words.
I said your words. What did it say? Mostly? Kind of?
More or less.
More or less. I don't, all right. This part was cool, but it felt like you took the episode and then compressed it to make room for this, weird tangential thing. Because it's introduced, and then it's resolved, and they add a little, English on it. There's a little flavor to it. But it's just this weird thing where I'm like, why did he even have to be possessed if he's immediately going to become not possessed? You could have, I don't know.
Well, picture watching that, because this is a Netflix original, but I believe it aired in the BBC first. I think Netflix original in this terms means they give money to be the only one that can
in this
show it in America
in a region.
Yeah. But I believe if you were to watch this with commercials, that would have been really intense. Oh my God, he's a demon! No, commercial. Oh my God, he's chasing it!
Oh my God! No, and
I could picture it.
I liked it, and it was good. But as I reflected on the episode and what my feelings were on it, I was like, this whole thing got in and out, and I think that goes hand in hand with the whole actual climax of the actual ending being underwhelming before that, and then the thing after that. I'm like, why not just devote all that time and energy into making the actual ending better?
Yeah, there were certain parts of this that I really liked, and some parts that I thought were kind of dumb. The whole her going back to see him because he died and came back. Oh, he had a heart attack. Remember they said to her on the phone that made it. He's asking for you and came back. She's still who she is. She turned into against her own character here, where I'm like, she knows that going back can cost the whole world.
Yeah.
Yet she goes back. Oh, it's just a cuddle. I'm a kiss real quick. Okay, we're good.
Well, because it's about love. And
love
conquers everything, especially logic. and that's what this is. What was this? Was this the same show? I feel like every show we talk about this character's doing this like idiotic thing, and I'm like, I know it's because they want to teach you about love and how idiotic it is or something
No,
like that.
the issue with,
I don't like
with
it
this
either.
one
I know.
is
Yeah.
it's really even difficult to say what a character would 100% do because you only know these characters for 6
Yeah.
episodes. So
And it's a
only 5
comedy.
episodes leading into this one. So it is like I'm a little more forgiving than I am with characters that I've known for like 7 seasons of like 20 episodes where I'm like, what are you doing? That's not
Why
who wrote
are you doing this all of a sudden? Yeah.
But it just felt very dumb where you couldn't put the like the horse is in front of the cart here where I'm like you're
Yeah.
well, the horse should be in front of the cart. You're putting the cart in front of the horse.
I know what you mean. I also don't know how carts work. It's a double whammy.
Bam.
There was a lot in here that felt kind of like I don't know. It was a disappointment. I did not. So like good things happen, right? We're gonna just run down all the things.
Sure.
What the
How
fuck?
do we start?
Okay, so like the whole thing about him, about them luring Raquel back from like the beach or whatever, right?
Sure.
So like Callum's talking, he's talking, you ready? Whoop, grabs a pillow and stuff, and like he's
Yeah.
still flailing, like he doesn't want this to happen. And I was like, oh shit, or whatever. That was like an oh shit moment that I liked, that the whole thing. And
Yeah.
and like then it just cuts away to like stoned Jenga, which I also love. But hold your horses, because while we're watching the Jenga, I'm like, he's dead. No, Jenga's later. No, before the Jenga at the beach, I'm like, oh no, he's dead. We had all these theories about Harry. He's dead now. What the fuck? But then the phone rings, and then we have Stone Jenga.
He never got a chance to be like his full character either, because it looked like he
Yeah.
was turning to be like he didn't want to do this, he didn't want to do that. He actually felt for her,
Yeah.
and it felt like a very diminished payoff. Where I'm like, all right, he was forced to turn his head. She saw he was a demon, and she went crazy.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm sorry," and that was it.
And we had all these theories about like, well, he's obviously, and the whole conversation with Callum was about Stockholm syndrome, was about like
Yeah.
you're developing feelings for her. That's okay. I can still use you, all that stuff. And then I thought he was gonna kill him, and it was gonna be like, oh shit, or whatever.
Because at the same party,
don't know.
he has other people in his ranks. He could have had just any voice she hasn't heard before call and say, "Oh, he's asking for you. He had a stroke." Like, anything. You didn't actually have to kill him. Because
Right.
what more did you get from that? And what if they couldn't bring him back? They wouldn't have
know.
called at all.
Right. It
They
felt,
would have called to say he's dead.
it felt very weird. Yeah, like how do you need it to be like, hello, I'm whoever with Mercy General Hospital?
No, it's a little
Yeah,
bit weird.
no.
That's
didn't even
weird
think about
and
that.
like assuming a lot. Another thing that I thought was like dumb and like the opposite of how it should work is when she drugged all of them.
Yes.
Unless she timed it out properly and drugged them with different dosages, there's no way her brother would go out first and stay out the longest. He's the biggest dude there.
Right.
This little girl wakes up first, the guy wakes up second, and he's just like, oh, he's so out of it that when they even like slap him, he doesn't wake up.
Yeah, she
And I'm
like,
like,
she
what?
like gets up and leans on his face to like get
Yeah.
up or something, and you're like, holy shit.
I'm like, he's a large man. No.
He is the largest. Maybe I would just assume that she did dose it all correctly, and she dabbles in whatever fucking.
No.
But
Also,
it's,
that's agreed. This shit hits people differently. But he's
yeah.
not like someone who abstains. He's been drinking and doing shit this
Yeah.
whole show. So it just struck me as I'm
well,
like,
and,
well, that's odd.
and even if you want to say like, well, she's an extra super cool person, Jake's not. Jake's just a fucking person.
Yes.
He's the most person-y fuck in the group.
Exactly.
So he should definitely. And he fucking.
Him not
when-
driving properly.
When he, so first of all, it was like Wolf of Wall Street, where it's all like, okay, and just like fucking fucks it up immediately. I'm like, oh my god. And then when like they finally cut back to them, it's just like the windshield wipers, and they're both asleep.
and
I
yeah,
was
slowly
fucking
drifting in the
dying.
parking lot.
Yes, that was amazing. That's good. I like that. That's
But then
fun.
why did the car die? Why did the car not stop?
No
Like,
reason.
nothing that they did could have
And-
caused that.
And he said, "You piece of shit," as if they've been having car problems throughout the
Yeah,
show.
they've never had a
and
problem.
I don't think they've ever had a problem of any kind.
Nah, what they
Uh.
should have done is been still too high and gotten the canoe and been like, "Come on!"
We've got to go. That's so high, though. I don't know if anyone's ever been that high.
Oh, we could get there.
I mean, the night is young. He says something about, it's like, can you drive? And he's like, I did my driving test, whacked out on Meow Meow, or something like that. I don't even
Yeah.
know. What
I
drug is
drive
that?
better when I'm high.
What drug is that?
No idea.
What drug is Meow Meow?
I assumed I heard him wrong because I was like, I don't know what you just said.
I'm pretty sure it said Meow Meow.
Meow meow.
Something
Catnip?
about catnip? Yeah. What's that? Ketamine, then.
Special K.
I don't know why he would be doing that drug.
He wouldn't.
All right.
It's uncharacteristic of him, but so is a lot of things that happen with this guy. He does swing back and forth. But I did think he became kind of a badass.
Things were good, and that's what I mean. Like, things were good, and then it stopped, and then we faded up from black and did a whole other thing for a while, and then we had the ending that should have been the fade up after the other. In my mind.
The
I don't know what happened.
the costume he wore originally to the ball
Mhm.
was like an orc costume.
Yep.
And it has the lower jaw on the
Yes.
chest, and you would have a mask that's the top jaw
Yep.
with an open mouth. But he had some other mask, and I think that was solely because they were like, all right, we can't hear you through the mask. All right, wear this mask because we can add that in post because your mouth doesn't move when you talk. Perfect.
I guess
That was
right?
all I could think of while I did it, because when you listen to his audio sounds like perfect, and I'm like, all right,
Mm.
so that's all recorded in post. I think on purpose.
I did not think about why they did it, but I totes noticed they did it, and it bothered me throughout the entire thing. I also made a special note. Amy's costume barely. So like I wrote down Amy's costume.
Uh-huh.
And then they cut to her actually at the party, and I was like, oh. So I was gonna write, her costume doesn't cover her face? What the hell is
Yeah.
wrong with her? But then I'm like, what barely covers her face, or whatever, in my little note here.
Yeah.
Which I think is super dumb, because they all know, right?
But they're probably also not, like,
it's crazy.
if they just showed up in no costume, you'd be very like, who's that? But any
Yeah,
costume
yes.
does let you know, like, oh, there's a lot of these things. Demons might be like, oh, humans look alike. Who
Humans-
knows?
Oh, you stupid monkeys look alike.
Yeah.
So, like, we're obviously getting to the point where they're at the party.
Sure.
Raquel's been taken there. Amy and Jake, like, show up there. Harry's there as a full-on bad guy wearing one of those costumes from what's the show where the skeleton costumes go?
I don't know what you're talking about. He
Fuck.
looked like it. He looked like he was one of the guys from that New Orleans movie of James Bond, where like they're doing the Black Sunday or Fat Tuesday, whatever parade.
Okay, the Dia de los Muertos.
Sure.
Wait, that's not it.
And I was also watching his face constantly going, does he have a mustache or is that just part of the paint? Does he have a mustache or is that just part of the paint? And I never could decide.
Oh, Callum's costume.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking about Ari. But Callum, yeah, so that was weird.
I don't even know who Harry is.
Weird face. He's a wizard.
Oh.
He has a weird, like, red skull thing on his face.
Yeah.
Which I thought at first was a mask, and then, like, in the very next shot, it was clearly just like
It's face
applied.
paint.
I'm like, okay, weird. He had a great moment with Amy where he's like, Amy, hello, it's Dr. Weaver. What are you doing here? Oh, I'm sorry, I forget who knows about what. I'm behind the whole Hellgate thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, good. Because she looks at him like, what the fuck? Like, we're not doing this. I thought that
Did
was...
she know he was bad?
No, but she, like, like... He was acting like she was like looking for the bathroom, but she was already well into like I am here to stop the like demons of hell.
Yeah.
It was very subtle, but it was like Joss
No, it
Whedon
made me
to
laugh.
It
but
made me laugh.
I didn't
and
get
I'm like,
exactly what was happening. I'm like, does she know? Because he gave it up like she knows.
I'm just reading into it, but yeah, I think he was gonna be like, oh, I'm just pretending to do this, but then like from her look, he
Or
was
I'm at
like,
a party.
oh, okay, right, just to like play it like
Yeah.
a thing. But he's like, oh no, right. So you already right because I whatever. Okay, yes, no, I'm yeah. It's been me all along. Yeah, okay, and all that stuff. And we have the fucking mom demon.
Yeah, and she turned out to be like a decent person. You could see she was actually worried about her son becoming a demon. Didn't want that to happen. She eventually
Yeah.
flees with the son.
So they've planted the seed that she may actually like this human child, which is fine. But in this same episode, in the beginning, that he has to say, "You're not having second thoughts about possessing the little tyke or whatever the fuck." And I'm like, that's obvious. So like when he says that earlier, I was like, okay, well now Harry and her are obviously gonna do whatever the fuck. Like right now, like for Callum, the people on his team who would actively try to thwart him if like pressed outnumbers the people who wouldn't practice. That's crazy. Like what the fuck is going on here?
And nobody has powers, including him, apparently.
I don't even know.
Like she can suck the life out of you, and that's it.
Yes.
And even the most powerful one of them, in quotes, the boss, redhead Ginger McDoctor, he has no powers at all.
Seems to not. But
And
he
I'm
says,
like, and you don't even meet anyone else with powers. You'd think that, like, each episode you would introduce one person with a different power that would be like, all right, how do we beat him? I don't know. He can turn to liquid. Drink him. Oh, like something.
and she's like, I'm about to drink you, bitch. Oh, and then
Yeah.
that'd be great. No, like, and I'll say it right here. So instead of having the whole side thing with like Jake being possessed and like taking us out of that, just make the like nightclub scene those like 7 minutes longer, and then have a thing where like after he falls, have like Raquel run down and reach out and be like, oh, you silly bitch, and she's like, I'm fine, and then it like cuts to Callum getting up and like his skin sloughing off and like fiery bones coming out, you bitch, and then they have to do some crazy thing.
I
to
did
stop.
like how the trident
Yeah.
was like in his ass.
Yes. But he just died from like falling off a thing like instantly, and like the whole shot of like the Hellgate was like one lockdown shot only.
Yeah.
And there was just like X amount of extras, and then they were just gone. And all this thing.
Did you notice how small
Right.
all the interior shots were?
Yeah, it was
So like
totally.
the exterior is a huge castle.
Right.
The interior, there's no ballroom. It's like a bedroom. Like it was tiny.
with like a loft, so you can view
Yeah.
to like film down into it. But I'm
Mhm.
like, what? That's like the little beginning of the party, and then you're supposed to go into like
Yeah.
or whatever. Which I wouldn't criticize on its own, but the fact
Yeah, they
that you
built me into that.
could have,
Um,
I don't know.
so cool thing, which I thought in the previous episode was our Revenant friend's not dead. That's cool.
I know. So now we're skipping to the very, very, very end.
Had to because I needed to jump in with some good.
Of course, there's some good. Yeah, she's just chilling on a roof, but it's
Drinking a
still good that
40 of
she's
blood.
there. I know. I was like, oh shit, and she has a weird jagged scar on her neck. So clearly, when we didn't see anything with like her falling and being dead or whatever, we
Uh-huh.
knew like something was up. And now, clearly,
I didn't notice a
Yeah.
scar on her neck, but now that you
Yeah.
say the scar on her neck, he did say her head was over there.
yeah,
So seemingly she just can't die from that shit. So that's
right,
cool.
right, and like they could. I had a thing that I thought of earlier that I forget now, but like
I
so,
wonder
like,
if the blood on the ground from the other
Something,
guy healed her.
or like because like if like Raquel would have been over there, she would have said like we should burn this, or like, well, you can't kill a revenant like that, she'll slowly come back together or something.
Well, she had to
weird
Google it.
shit
I don't
like
think she
that.
even knew what a revenant
Yeah,
was.
yeah, she would have like found out or like had a thing to say, but they like very uncharacteristically like the new guy just walked over, and I mean DJ Qualls, not the newest guy
Yeah.
of their crew, came over and said, "Oh, it's a mess, she's dead," and they were just like, "Cool," and like peaced out. I would have been like, "What?" Like go find her, rifle through that, find her necklace, and let's go bury it or something. There'd be a whole like process, but they were just like, well, Parkins, I don't want to feed the meter, let's go, and they just like left, and
Pretty much,
so-
and that's why I thought she was alive.
That's why it was
and
very
it turned
weird,
out that
yeah.
she is, so I'm happy about that.
yeah. So she'll be in the next season. They're setting up that or whatever.
Yeah,
And Jake's not possessed, which I guess
that's
is
also
fine.
good. because I enjoy that character, so I didn't want him to be gone. So that's cool.
I would have liked it, to have them end with him possessed. And then in the opening montage of season 2, if you then decided you didn't want him to be possessed, just like play those 2 minutes or whatever the
Yes,
fuck.
yes.
Just so we like
You could
wonder
have ended
and like
on a
freak
like,
out
what's gonna happen?
or something. But just to have him, it felt so weird to me to have him be, like the big reveal, the running, the exorcism, and then like some awesome awkwardness where they kiss and he's like, "Oh, you're in
Yeah.
love with me," and she's like, "I don't." Like,
But I
what's
think she might be. That's
Yeah.
gonna play up in season 2, I would imagine. The actual ending of this though is
Yeah, the
the
ending's
two of
endings,
them outside of like a pool hall
Yep.
with a suspected demon sighting, and then there's like
Oh, we should say so. Like that. So like that's the whole thing. Sorry to cut you off.
Sure.
In like the dream ending, right? They like duel Callum, who's like a big monster, has some weird power we didn't know about, and they outsmart him. They like kill him or like whatever. And then Jake's like, "Is it over?" And they're all like, "Yeah." And then like the door goes. And they go, "Oh, it's not over. Fuck, everyone's gone. They're all possessed. What do we do?" Nah, man, season 2, and then cut,
Yeah.
fade back up, and they're like on the hunt, like Deus Ex whatever, but Ex Machina
they
Patra.
admittedly say more than 10, less than 50 demons
Yeah.
escaped, and then when they head into this pool hall, and there's like 7 or 10 like
Yep.
demons right there, and you're like, okay. Up till now, they've like barely had the ability to fight like 2
Yep.
on 2, and now they're like, yep, we'll take on this whole
No,
thing.
but Amy's got a stick now, so it's
This
fine.
is that classic situation where like it's like, yep, you've all of a sudden leveled up now, and you're
I
like,
hate it so
in the
much.
next season, oh, I'm killing them left and right, and there's also hundreds of them now, and you're like, what?
That's like the 3rd or 4th on my list of like why this is disappointing. Is like Amy has a stick now. That's cool. We're gonna go do this. That's cool. But the whole show's been about outsmarting them, figuring it out, like rising to the occasion, being forced to like stab somebody in the tit with an F-15 toy, like weird shit
Yeah.
like that, being like in over your head. And everything's goofy and weird. Now they're like, yes, I accept this. Check the box. Click continue. Yes, like 7, whatever it is. They're all demons in there, I guess. They only showed some Bernie faces, but I'm like, you are vastly outnumbered, and they can see you. You have no element of surprise. There's no indication that you've like thought something through or
No.
nothing. I'm just like, fuck.
I won't write it off
Fuck.
necessarily though, because this could be that like last episode thing where like they might when you're making a show, you don't know if you're getting picked up again.
Yeah.
So like this could be like, nope, that's our last episode ever. We
Right.
end off with this like huzzah, I call the dragon type of thing, and you
And
see
I
where
call
it
the
goes.
dragon moment, if you will. No, I
So I
don't.
won't hate
yes.
it, but if it does like. I would like it if season 2 picked up right there, and there's them going, ah, and then they run out the door.
Okay, so it could totally like this is not like none of these are like fatal flaws,
No,
but
no,
like
no.
so like what I was actually building to is like what you just said is like I think they were like, okay, let's wrap it up. We have a new season. We're not gonna like the Callum guy's not gonna be there. Let's have him die. Definitely, we have this. We want to do that possession thing with Jake. Let's get that out of the way because she has to pee on him so they can kiss, and he'll be like, I like that you peed on me. We have that joke written. Let's get that in there. Let's do this, and we're gonna end with a freeze frame and be like word and all that stuff. Like I feel like they did this like on purpose. Either because of season 2 or because they had no idea about season 2.
Yeah.
They just decided like a lot like in a show that was so awkward and good and natural and happy for me. This last episode had the highest concentration of things that felt like writers were like grabbing the characters and like doing things to them and like making something happen like
Yeah.
that. It made me super sad.
I would like
Disappointed.
if in season 2 we have them get together. She leaves Raquel's brother. She stays
Okay,
with him.
Jake and Amy.
And you have a fun thing between Raquel and Amy going like, yeah, he's obsessed with me. Weeing on him now.
he keeps trying to tell
I
me he's
want-
possessed.
I
I
want
said I
that.
can see you.
I want it
I know you're not
I want it
possessed.
to be a thing where he has a pee fetish.
Okay. They might be able to help you out with that. I feel like
I
there's
feel like
enough
this is
being
the
on
show that could
already.
do that, and then he'll like wipe himself with some ham, and he'll be set.
He'll probably get possessed again, and they'll use that as the jump off. Where he's like, are you just getting possessed so I can pee on you? Well, you won't do it unless I'm possessed. This whole fucking thing. Oh, there's some like I love these characters. I love this like world. There's so
Yeah.
much opportunity for awesomeness to happen here. That's why these disappointments like cut so hard for me. Where I was all like, I can't wait to watch this, you know, and then it was like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, this was a treat, and we did rip through it very quickly.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So I can't wait for season 2. I guess
Season
is,
2,
like, the
I'm
bottom
optimistic
line.
for, and I think there's a good chance it's coming out relatively quickly.
We tried
because
to plan
we
it that
picked
way.
this up, I think, later than we should have. But is there anything else in this episode you want to cover before we
Hold
say
on.
goodbye till season 2?
There might be stall. I'm looking
There
at my
might be
notes.
something else to talk about.
I'm not on camera, right? Just
You're
stall.
you're completely hidden. No one could see you.
Okay, good.
It's perfect.
We set up those 2 shots, right? So we don't have to
Exactly.
worry about.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just do this a lot. I go, look over here, look over here.
Yeah, if you have some keys, you could jingle or one of those
Jingle,
mobiles
jingle,
that babies like. So I was trying to figure out what the fuck I wrote here. So like this is like the whole thing. Like 2/3 down the page, I write down and then I underline 1000% underwhelming or something like that. Just to underscore or whatever. Still a good show. Still very hopeful about season 2. I still intend to watch it, and I think we intend to talk about it. Am I letting
Most
the cat
definitely.
out of the bag?
Most definitely. No, I'm super enthusiastic about season 2 because if season 1 was this strong, I think season 2, with having money and a following, could certainly be much better.
Has tremendous potential, and we've added to the list of things and people and clicks and likes and views.
Most assuredly. Until next time, guys, don't die in a fire. And if you haven't already checked out this show, that'd be really weird. Check it out.